Are you guys keeping up with the story of the American woman who went missing in Punta Cana on spring break? Well, the last person to see her alive, Josh Rybe, has officially been cleared by local police. Let me back up. If you aren't aware of what happened, on March 3rd, 20-year-old Sudiksha Konanki, who is a junior at University of Pittsburgh, flew to Punta Cana for spring break with 5 of her female friends. On March 5th, Sudiksha and her friends go out for a night of drinking with 2 men they met in the hotel lobby, one of which is fellow American Josh Rybe. Around 4:15 the next morning, March 6th, they decide to all walk to the beach. This is video surveillance of them going down towards the beach. Around 4:50 in the morning, surveillance shows everybody in the group except for Sudiksha and Josh walking back to the hotel. Around 9 a.m., they show Josh by himself with his shirt off walking back to the hotel. So by 4 p.m. later that day, Sudiksha's friends report her missing. Seeing as though Josh was the last person to be seen with Sudiksha, they bring him in for an interview, and here's what he says. "We were in waist-deep water talking and kissing a little. We kissed and a big wave came and hit us both. And with the rising water, it swept us out to sea. As soon as we were able to surface, we tried to call for help, but there was no one there. Then she went to gather her belongings since the sea had moved us. She wasn't out of the water as it was up to our knees. She was walking at an angle in the water. The last time I saw her, I asked her if she was okay. I didn't hear her answer because I started vomiting all the seawater I'd swallowed. That was the last time I saw her. I thought she had grabbed her things and left. After I saw her walk away, as she walked in the water, I never saw her again." Now, this is kind of interesting because a few months back, 4 tourists drowned in nearly the same spot after they were hit by a wave and taken out by the current. When authorities asked why he walked back without Sudiksha, he said that he felt super sick after he got out of the water, laid down on a beach chair, and fell asleep. Now, local authorities say that he is not a person of interest, but he is still being watched by security in a hotel room during this investigation. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but Josh's friends, family, and even neighbors have come forward saying that he is not physically capable of hurting anybody. So I don't know if she drowned. I don't know if he attacked her. I don't know if something else happened, but hopefully her family can get some.
We've got breaking news in the search for Sudiksha Konanki, the missing University of Pittsburgh student who disappeared in the Dominican Republic almost a week ago. U.S. officials now confirming there's a person of interest. We've asked Dominican Republic police about this, but they have referred us to a prosecutor's office here. The U.S. officials who told us this are from the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office out of Virginia, where Konanki is a resident. We're told detectives from that sheriff's office came to the Dominican Republic and have met with Konanki.
All right, guys, we got some huge news. It just dropped a couple hours ago. Joshua Rybe, the last guy that was with Sudiksha Konanki, had his passport taken away by Dominican authorities. All right, so Joshua Rybe, he's got a lawyer now, and he is confined to the hotel. He is not allowed to leave unless he has a police escort. Now, I'm not pointing fingers at the kid, but as the weeks and the days go by, people are really starting to dig into it. I mean, there's only a few possibilities of what could have happened here, and his stories ain't making sense. Now, he was speaking exclusively with NBC briefly at the resort where Konanki has been staying before her disappearance. Rybe said, "I'm just trying to help them out," adding, "The ocean is a dangerous place." Now, I want to know your guys' opinion. Do you think Joshua Rybe had something to do with Sudiksha Konanki's disappearance? Like the video, comment your opinion on what you think happened down below, and make sure you follow me because I'm going to be making videos all along the way. Talk to you later. Stay safe.
Now, this is what you call a pathological liar. Not only did this man change up his story more than 4 times, but after he was last seen with Sudiksha Konanki, it turns out that he has a girlfriend waiting for him at home, which may explain everything. Now, many people believe that he obviously had something to do with it, while others are saying that she drowned from intoxication.
Aunque la playa es inmensa, muy grande, el que ha venido a República Dominicana sabe que República Dominicana es una sola playa. Tienen que buscar en los manglares.
breaking news in the Sudiksha Konanki case as a resort worker who has been working there for more than 25 years has come out and given his theory on what happened to her. He starts by saying there are 3 theories as to what happened, and he's gonna immediately debunk 2 of them. First theory is that she drowned, and he says that's not possible because even if she did, her body would have washed back onto the beach almost immediately. He said there's no way she's lost at sea or still under the water because the way the tides and waves are, she would have been brought back at maximum the very next day. He also said the fish over there would not devour an entire body, and even the sharks do not eat humans. He then states the fact that this is a private beach and all the hotels have security guards and cameras, and after 6 p.m. the National Guard comes and patrols the beach, so if there was someone drowning and calling for help, they would have seen. He then starts pulling at the sand on the beach and shows how easily it comes off, and says in about 30 minutes he could make a 5-foot hole, and he's not even athletic. He then states that Joshua is an athlete and could do this a lot quicker, and his theory is that Sudiksha is somewhere under that beach. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as always, I'll keep you guys updated.
So breaking news in the Sudiksha case, y'all. There have been a photo released of the clothing articles that have been left by Sudiksha, or found of Sudiksha's, including this white netted shirt, dress type thing that she was seen wearing in surveillance footage. I'll show you guys here. So this is what it looks like. It's like a little cover up for your bathing suit. This is the last thing she was allegedly seen wearing. This is just newly released footage. You can see that she has someone's arm. I'm thinking this is, you know, the person of interest arm around her. And then there was also a flip-flop found on the beach. Y'all, this is scaring me. This is starting to give me Natalie Holloway vibes. I'm not sure what happened that day, but it does not seem like they can find her so far. I would think the waves would have washed something up by now. Like, I mean, come on. It's been almost 2 weeks since her disappearance, or since she's been missing, and this is alarming. There is still a search going underway. They're still asking questions to the last person seen with her. He's trying to say, like I said, that she was, you know, in a wave, washed away, and he thought she was okay, but then he woke up and realized she was missing. It's just so much going on. I really feel like he did do something. I'm not gonna lie, that's my opinion. And he's covering up. Just the way he looked when he was walking back from the beach, the surveillance footage of his shirt missing, something just gave me really.
Who is Joshua Stephen Rybe? Let's talk about it. Joshua Stephen Rybe is a 24-year-old tourist from Iowa, and he was the last known person to be seen with Sudiksha Konanki before her disappearance on March 6th. Originally from Rock Rapids, Iowa, Rybe is a former wrestler and football player with Central Lyon High School and a senior at St. Cloud University in Minnesota. He traveled to the Dominican Republic for spring break and was a fellow guest at the same resort as Konanki and her friends. Rybe told police that when he woke up on the beach, Konanki was nowhere to be found. Authorities have not clarified whether Rybe and Konanki knew each other prior to meeting on the island. My guess is probably not. Thomas Julia, spokesperson of the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, said he has been interviewed at length. He also emphasized that Rybe faces no accusations of wrongdoing at the moment, as this is still a missing person case and not a criminal case. However, authorities in Virginia and the FBI have identified Rybe as a person of interest in the case. Sheriff's spokesperson Chad Quinn said in an email, "It is not at the time a criminal investigation, so to be clear, he is not a suspect." Officials also said that more than 300 investigators, including officers, specialists, tactical units, and aquatic search teams, were combing the area around the resort. And the National Police said earlier this week they formed a high-level commission to work alongside investigators, according to CBS News. 20-year-old Sudiksha Konanki could still be out there. I'm thankful that they still have a very committed search team looking for her, but I'm really hoping we get some more answers in the following days. Again, if you hear any more information or any updated information, please drop it below in the comments. I just want to make sure we're all spreading the most accurate and up-to-date information and hopefully bring her home. Like always, thanks for watching. Hopefully we have an update soon.
You guys, let me tell you why I think that Josh Rybe has done nothing to Sudiksha, and that there's something else that happened to her and she did not drown. So let's exclude the drowning. So if she drowned, her body would have come to surface by now. So the Caribbean water is warm water, right? So if your flesh decays in that water, gases build up and it makes your body come to the surface. So whatever happens, she's not under the sea. So let's move on to Joshua. So Joshua clearly was very helpful. He gave his statements at the beginning. He did change a few times. Why? because he was so wasted that night that clearly he doesn't remember what happened. And this is very natural, actually. Anyone who's been wasted before, you know that you don't remember what happened to you the night before, let alone telling police officers a whole bunch of information. You're asked hundreds of questions. It doesn't look like that he lawyered up right from the beginning, but he did in the end, because obviously he needs to be more careful. Okay, in that CCTV of him, you can clearly see he did go in that water. Okay, but foul play, I don't think so. So I'm excluding Joshua from this whole thing. Now, I want you to go online, go on Interpol yellow list. Go and check out Interpol yellow list, and you will now find Sudiksha's name on there. She is now on Interpol's yellow list. The people that normally go on Interpol's yellow list are minors, young people, people that are either kidnapped, abducted, or people that go missing, but there is no circumstance, no one knows, where they are. Okay, so this is what I think happened. I believe she's been kidnapped. And I think, as Joshua said, she was coming out of that sea, she was coming out of the water, and he thought she went back to her chair, and all of a sudden she was not there anymore. And there were other people at the beach that same time. So somebody maybe was trying to help her. She was sick, maybe she was throwing up, and somebody said to her, let me take you back to your hotel. And instead, there is a car park close to that area, by the way. Somebody may have put her in a car and kidnapped her. That is my belief. What do you think?
Me think she was trafficked. And I know I said I felt like she was buried in the sand, but no. Between the locals, the workers, and the passport bros, I feel like the girl was trafficked. I feel like she was trafficked, and I feel like that's why it's the dude who was last seen with her. Her story doesn't make sense, why he can't answer certain questions. He probably genuinely is answering everything the best he can. I genuinely kind of do believe that they were drunk, and I do believe that they did split. I was there at that same resort not even a year ago, and when I'm telling y'all, the energy on those resorts with the workers, that's the red flag. I'm not even hold y'all. And the power does go out. It does, because their power grid is different. I'm not saying the workers are the one who did it, but they are sketchy. Because my experience of being on a Rybe resort in the DR, but luckily I was on a vacation. But all I'm saying basically is I was on a vacation and I was even getting checked out. The workers was excited, okay? So take what you want with the information, but I feel like that girl might have been trafficked.
A pro about having Haitian parents is that at an early age, I feel like we were taught how to have discernment about who your friends are and who your friends are not. Even though Haitian parents could be overbearing and very strict, like having true traditional Haitian parents, like, sleepover, we were not doing sleepover. We weren't doing certain things because it was a matter of our parents didn't know these people, so they weren't going to just let their kids, sleep over at certain people's homes. Like the first time I ever had a sleepover was probably when I was like 16. My mom literally got us a hotel and all of my friends stayed together, and she was there the entire time. That just became a normal thing for myself, that I was like, I'm not gonna just go around and like sleep over at the homes of people that I had just met to give it time to load. I had to see what kind of person you really are, because sometimes people don't portray their true selves to you. You gotta wait for them to reveal their true selves to you, right? This is all going back to tie to the story of that girl who went on the trip with her friends to DR and didn't make it back home, unfortunately, after spring break, and now she's missing. Do not travel with people you hardly know. I don't know if she did know them that well or if she didn't. But this storyline, I've seen it so many times where women go on trips with a group of friends, people that they quote unquote trust, and they don't make it back home. And this is because we are going on trips with people that we don't really know. My friends now, I only travel with that group of friends, and that's it, period. If I meet somebody now, I'm not gonna plan any trips with them until I've known them for maybe at least 3-4 years or more. It has to be a long amount of time for me to know you before I'm going to put my trust and my safety in your hands and go out of this country somewhere with you. I've had experiences with certain girls that I'll even go out just for one night and they act weird, and I'm not going back out with you ever again. Because as a girl's girl, if I go out with anyone, I'm making sure you're coming back.
I think this is also an example of you cannot be friends with everybody. This is also reminding me to the girl that unfortunately passed away in Mexico a few years ago. I believe her name was Shanquilla Robinson. Same thing, hater friends. You cannot be friends with everybody, and you cannot take trips with everybody. You have to have people you go out with here in your city, people you can travel with, people you tell your deep things to, friends that you are surface level with. Not everybody is meant to be your friend that knows every single detail about your life.